Hello and welcome to livealittlehigher.com. Last week we spoke in our series on marriage, written by The Mystery of Marriage by Rabbi Isaac Ginsburg. We spoke about the three stages in a relationship, and we began with the first stage, which was the stage of clinging. And we explained, or I explained, how it's very important for a couple when they begin their life together to understand that they have to cling to each other. The husband has to leave his parents' home and he has to be part of his wife now. That's where his home is, and he should fight for it till the end and respect his wife and really see her as part of himself. But still he's not able to really feel that she's part of himself. And now we have the second stage in building our relationship, which is called the relationship. So once a couple gets married, and after a few months they're together and they're getting acquainted with each other and living with each other, which is very different than dating. When you wake up with a person every day, and it's very different than when you go out to have a nice dinner and a walk in the park, then you have to start working on your relationship. And I always tell my students that your relationship with your husband, or the husband with the wife, or any relationship in the world, has to be treated like a job. Like if you go to work, you take it seriously. You go from 9 to 5, you do the best you can, you finish your work. If you're an owner of your business, even more so, sometimes you have to work Sundays, sometimes you have to work till very late, but you'll do whatever it takes for you to be able to bring that business out. So the same way, a relationship has to be treated in that way. For us, our husbands have to be a priority, and just as you call a friend to say hi, it's nice for a wife to call her husband in the middle of the day and ask him how he's going. She doesn't have to talk to him for 2 hours. He has no time for that. But just to tell him, look, I'm thinking about you. Did you have lunch? Are you okay? What would you like for dinner? These little things are what really build up our relationship. When the husband is not feeling well, the wife is taking care of him. She brings him chicken soup, or the other way around. Or just to have him a nice meal, something he loves to eat when he comes home. I always tell my girls that I used to teach this class to, that today in this world, women are very busy. When their husbands get home, they're in their computer, they're in their chatting, they're in their Facebook, whatever they're doing, and they don't really, like, the husband comes home and like, hi honey. And I remember my mom, and I always tell this story, that when my father used to come home in those days, I'm talking about 40 years ago or more, there was no such thing as a remote control in the garage. So we used to hear him honk for the housekeeper to come and open the garage door. And once my mother heard this, she would run to the bathroom and she would comb her hair and she would wash her teeth and she would put on some lipstick on her mouth, on her lips, and she would like have my sister and me, we were little, already bathed, we had already eaten, and we were ready to go to sleep, and she would stand in the entrance of the house with each one of us at each side, waiting for my father to come into the house. We would jump on top of him and greet him, and my mother would greet him with a smile and a big hug and a kiss, and that made him feel like he was the king of the house. He was a special guy. We were waiting for him. We missed him during the day. So these are things that build up relationships, that make people feel special, that make people feel loved, and that's basically what it is. So the stage of the relationship really is that a person, when he starts his life with his wife or his husband, they think it's about them. They think it's about what is in this relationship for me. Maybe this is in a subconscious level, but it's really the rectifying love involves learning to focus on the other person, not on yourself so much. And when it's unrectified, we're really focused on ourselves. And we think we love that person, but in reality, we love ourselves more. We love how that person makes us feel. But we really don't love the person. We love the way she makes us feel or he makes us feel. The minute that person stops making us feel that way, then the love will go away because it's about us. So the whole purpose of the relationship is, that stage of the relationship is on switching the love to the other person from ourselves, taking it away from us and putting it to the other person. And that's what a relationship does. The more you care, the more you give, the more you're in tune with your spouse's needs, and you really want to make them feel that you care about them, the more the love is going to grow, and it really is going to grow towards the other person. If you stop for a second and you think about a baby, I don't know how many of you have children, but for those who have, the minute the baby's born, you love them to death. Like, you can't believe this little person just appearing in the world and it's the whole world to you. How can it be that someone that you haven't even had a conversation with, you don't know their personality, you don't know how they are, nothing, but you love them so much? Why is it? Because you are giving to them. And that giving, of nurturing, of giving, of making sure that baby is well taken care of, that baby is being nourished and loved, that makes your love grow for that baby. But if it's about us and what we're getting, then it's not going to grow. The relationship is not going to grow. It's going to become stale. And ahava, the word ahava, which is love in Hebrew, really means to give. In Hebrew, loving means to be giving. So their relationship has to be about giving and about making the other person feel wanted and loved. I have new wives, new brides that call me and say, Margie, I don't know what to do. He's so messy. He's so messy. He leaves everything all over the place. So I say, okay, what are you going to do about it? You're going to have a fight about it, or you're going to make a way in which he can become less messy? Buy a nice basket, put it in front of his closet, tell him, look, honey, I bought you this, so you put everything in here. And in that way, little by little, you'll start accommodating each other to each other's needs. But the wife should not be in a place where she's fighting about these things. She should be understanding and loving and giving the other person the ideas of how much she cares about them and how much she loves them. So instead of fighting, speak it. It's very important in a relationship to have a good communication. If people are not speaking what they feel and what they need, then it's very hard to really create a relationship. And I find that many people today have a lot of problems in communicating what they feel and what they need. So the wife can easily say to the husband, look, it would make me so happy, it would make it so much easier for me if you drop everything in this basket that I bought for you. I would really appreciate it. And in this way, the husband will think, okay, yes, you know what, I love her. I don't want her to suffer and sweat so much. I'm going to put the things here. And in that way, you are creating a relationship. So I leave it here today. Work on your relationship. Make it a priority in your life. You know how to make friends. You know how to keep friends happy. So it's the same way around. I always used to tell my kids when they were little, if you treated your friends like you treat me, then you wouldn't have any friends. So the same applies to the husband. Treat your husband like you treat your friends. A friend needs you, you run out and help them. A friend is unhappy, you do anything to make them happy. And this is the same way with the husband. And then, God willing, this relationship will grow and will flourish in a way in which we'll speak about next week, about how you become one with the other. So I wish you a blessed week, a happy week, Hag Sameach. It's Hanukkah, it's a time of light and miracles. And your light should shine in your marriage, making it beautiful and bright. Thank you, and live a little higher.